As a small business owner, I'm sure that you've been in a position where your clients ask you to justify your prices, and that I'm sure leads to some anxiety, unless you're a superhuman. Uh, and I thought of this for a while and how I have come a long way. In fact, this just happened yesterday, so it just triggered this thought, and maybe we can talk about this. Uh, where a potential client comes in and immediately asks you to justify your prices. What happens then? So let's talk a little bit about that. My name is Amit Suvarna. I'm an organic marketing strategist and coach. And today we'll talk about justifying your prices. Uh, if that's something that as a small business owner you should think about or do. So the first thing that I want to just you know talk about is that there this is a dilemma. The price question is always something that comes up, and if you are new to managing sales, then it so happens that it raises some concerns, some emotions, and I can understand when people ask, why does this cost so much, or I can't afford this. These are challenging situations that can trigger uh, your emotions. So first of all, I feel as professionals we must remove emotion from the equation. uh, you must remember that this is business and it is not personal. Ultimately, you are trying to get the most out of each other. So remember that these are negotiations, and negotiations can start on any note. So keep it professional and do not think that this is an attack on your personal being. It's just business, right? Remember that. Always keep that in mind, because how you go into this makes all the difference in how you are communicating your value and how you work with people, and how that exchange of energy happens. And exchange of energies can be felt. So especially in sales, where the chances to be uncomfortable are high, it makes even more sense to be calm and to be able to manage your emotions in a place, coming from a place that this is not personal, this is business, and this is a negotiation. It's not meant to be insulting, it's not a personal attack, right? So in case you do want to work together and see a potential for you know mutual benefit, then uh, here is something that I have used, especially if your prospective client seems very interested in working with you, but there is that price debate that comes on board. You have to first of all acknowledge that, thank you for uh, wanting to work with me. I'm very excited about that, but I can't offer my services at the price point that you are suggesting. May I suggest that we break the service that you are asking for into two parts, which are the must haves and nice to haves, right? So go through each one of the components or the elements of that they must have in the service that you want to provide, and then nice to haves. What happens over here is that you immediately change the conversation from all or nothing to let's talk about what's possible, right? So distinguishing these must haves and nice to haves are a great conversation to have, especially when price is kept on the table, to understand how far do your prospective clients want to go with you, right? So for example, if you are a videographer and they have come to you for a brand video, what are the must haves? That the shoot is a must have, the editing is a must have, uh, maybe some captioning or on-screen text is a must-have. What maybe nice to haves are like 3D animations, logo animations. What else? Uh, Maybe extravagant locations. These things are nice to haves, but you have settled that the must-haves are a part of the deal, and the nice to haves can be charged accordingly, right? So with that distinguishing factor, what happens is that you have set the context of how you can operate from here, right? And so then from here on end, it's about negotiating a win-win, that what works for you and them. And maybe after you put this context in place, they might say that, hey, we'd be happy to like do all of these things because we see value over there. So let's find a way of coming up with the money to do this. Or if they can't do that, if it's an absolute hard ceiling, then they'll be like, okay, let's just do this and then we'll see later what we can do about that, right? So what happens is that you will also create this basis of creating a win-win situation where they get most of what they want and you get most of what you want, right? So ensure that you are building that bridge where your expertise shines as an advisor who helps them make these choices, right? This brings me squarely into, like, now till now we were talking about prospective clients who give you that vibe that they want to work with you. What happens if basically right off the bat people are asking you about your prices? Then chances are that if you are in that category of not just doing the work, that means you're not just a service provider but you're actually also a thinker and an ideator, then maybe uh, you could just like present it professionally and confidently and not justify your price at all. It makes no sense for you to justify the price because, come to think of it, you have all of these things that you buy, right? You go to a gas station, or you buy a vehicle, or you buy even a bag of chips. uh, Consider how we operate in a world whether we ask for that logic, you know, uh, for the justification of prices. If that is something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, and it should, then chances are that you shouldn't be asked for a justification of price, given that you have already made the case for it. Obviously, this is not like uh, this does not occur in a vacuum. Just keep that in mind, right? So people are interested in what you do and how you operate and how you provide results based off that, asking for a justification of price, right? So um, in those terms, like, think about the symmetry of logic. The symmetry of logic states that if you are attracted, like as I just said before, is that you're interested in something, right? uh, a, a not so great example would be about dating, that you're attracted to someone. You wouldn't go and ask them, give me reasons of why I should date you. That's, in terms of social dynamics and relationships, just doesn't work. right? So even from a sales perspective, don't think that it is something that you have to justify your price all the time. If you are confident of the value that you bring to the table, you're confident about the results that you bring to the table, then say it out loud, stand with pride. And even when it comes to the negotiation table, don't take it personally, treat it like a business, treat it professionally, and I think you should be good, my friend, right? So as a quick recap, like, obviously there is going to be a price question dilemma as service providers in and as small businesses and small business owners, there is going to be that price question dilemma. um, Treat it with respect, take emotion out of the equation. It's not a personal attack, so don't take it as an insult. It's all business. Find a collaborative route where you can work through these questions or queries and see how you can distinguish between must haves and nice to haves. Negotiate for wins on both sides, and be proud of what you do. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others as well. So thank you so much for being with me today, and have a fantastic week ahead. I will see you tomorrow.